In this lecture, we're gonna go through getting user input. I'm gonna open a Java project, getting user input. Open a class. This time I'm gonna type my main method. Public static void main string arrays args, which stands for arguments, and I'm gonna open my curly braces. And I'm gonna use scanner class to get user input. So scanner class looks like this. You already seen the string class, and this is scanner class. So here I've created a variable that refers to an object of a scanner type. I'm gonna call it input. Of course, you can call it anything you want. And the reason I'm getting an error right here is that I need a statement at the top of the class file. That statement imports the scanner class, so my program knows where to find it. I could either type it by myself, or I can make Eclipse import it for me. I can go to this icon right here and click import scanner. Or there is another handy shortcut that we could use here. There's a Control Shift. So I got this statement right here, which must be the first line of your file. Unless you have a package statement in the file, but we'll look into that in the next lectures. So I have a scanner variable in here, but currently doesn't refer to any scanner object. So I'm gonna type here new scanner system.in. Don't worry if you don't understand the syntax, because we'll go through it later on. So what I'm doing here is creating a new scanner object, and I'm passing to it the standard predefined system.in input stream object. To get some user input, I'll first store some text in a string variable, and I'm gonna say this string variable equals to input.nextLine. And here I'm gonna add a prompt. A prompt is just a line that asks a user to do something. And I'm gonna say here sysout, enter a text line. And by line I mean that the user can write 0 or more characters, but they must hit the return key, and that's the definition of a line. And once I've got the line, I'm gonna say sysout your line is plus text. So here we've put our string variable. At this line right here, we're telling the user what to do. Right here, we wait for their input, so we wait for their line, and this statement only displays the line you've entered. And if we run this program, you see it outputs enter a text line. And we can write anything right here. I'll say I love coding. And if I press enter, it says your line is I love coding. However, we're not limited of getting only lines of text. We can also, for example, get integers. Enter an integer. And here instead of string text, I'm gonna say int a value. And here we're gonna change the line into int. And here we're gonna say your number is. Here we're gonna change it to a value. Now if we run this, it outputs enter an integer. And if we say 5, click enter, it will say your number is 5. Unfortunately, this program isn't very robust, because if we type letters when we wait for numbers, the program will crash. However, at least it will throw an exception, and we'll go through exceptions later on in this course. We can also get a decimal point number. I'm going to show you how. Here I'll say enter a decimal number. I'm going to change the variable to double. And here I'm going to write input.next double. And I'm going to change this value as well, number. So I'm going to run this program and I'm going to say 2.1. So your number is 2.1. However, to make these scanner programs more robust, you need to use some scanner methods that help you search for the type of the input, and you have to combine them with if statements in order for your program not to crash if the user inputs the wrong type. However, I'm gonna leave that for you in the resources section of this lecture. So that's it for this lecture. Don't forget to practice a lot, and see you in the next lectures.